NRA has not been paying, but of course has delivered us some successes. We can see development spanning from infrastructure to economic stability, and this is what peace brings in. And this is the day which we all come here to celebrate, and of course go back to the drawing board to know that, or to ensure that this can also flow into the future of Uganda. We will be giving you a few interviews. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Best deals in Uganda, just one up I found. Hey! Click, click to me. Bring it.
Good morning to you.
How do you feel to be, and what is Tarehe Sita viewers? This discussion there.
Okay, I am Major General Sam Chiwanuka, joined in 1981 on 4th November. I am 40 plus years, 44, and I am in charge of production and the welfare in the army. 44 years in the army or of age? 44 years in the army, because that's when I joined from Wakiso. I am born of Wakiso. So as of now, I command production in the army with quite a number of farms in the army. We produce the food. Now, it's some of us, like now here in Kabale, we are very grateful. A number of us have come together. Our brothers who retired in the army, we have managed to meet here. It's a historical situation now whereby quite a number of us, we are seeing one another, those who fought with us and retired in the army. And we are very proud we are still breathing.
I find that Chiwanuka, justice, the coordination of Tarehe Sita. Where do you derive this from?
Tarehe Sita is the day when our president, the commander-in-chief, organized 27 fighters, and they moved in to liberate the country and attacked Kabamba. That's February. That's where we recognized that day.
It is a day.
Recognized that day.
It is a day I know to
No, this is a fundamental in our institution, the UPDF. We have changed, the army has changed a lot. What we used to hear and what we see now, this is really a fundamental change. We have a professional army. We have everything, and we are very sure the country is stable, and it will be stable forever and ever. What we need is just the support of the population, because this is a people's army.
You talk of being or coming from the Department of Agriculture. One would have wished to hear you are heading this artillery patrol, this division. What brings UPDF to bring on board such innovation, such departments, food and security? Why is it a concern to UPDF?
Wherever you go over the world, it's a shame a security institution not to have its own food, because we need secure food. Two, as it's a professional army, we have agronomists. We recruit agronomists purposely to join agriculture, and that's why we have our own food, and it reduces the burden of the budget of UPDF, because we can have our own food. We can have our own beef. We can have our own other things. The way build Uganda, buy Uganda, be you.
In a historical way, if you reflect on the army or UPDF of 45 years ago and the one of today, how do you look at the future?
No, with the future for us, we look at it to be very bright. It's an educated army, very professional, and they are aggressive. The only thing what we need, we the leaders, we need from this younger army is just to be very close to the population. The president has been advising us that if we mistreat the population will reject us. So what that history of the old army of the UPDF, where we started it, is what we want. This young, good enough, some of us, we are still serving, and we are looking at a very, very bright future with our commander-in-chief and the CDF, who has changed. The CDF has changed the UPDF in all the sectors.
Your last remarks to our viewers in terms of commitment as Ugandans, is there anything to worry in as far as security is concerned?
No, we are committed. We are committed to our government, the country Uganda. We are very strong. We are very strong. We have the support of the population. You know, security organs must be supported by the population. With the support of the population, we are committed, and the economy of our country is growing, and the welfare of the security organs also is improving daily by daily, and we shall be there. And I can assure Ugandans that Uganda, where we have reached, it's a very, very strong country. We are everywhere. We are in Somalia, we are in South Sudan, purposely to export peace.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm coming by the Yango, so that I had not introduced myself.
Okay, yes. Okay.
That's all. Thank you so much. Our viewers, thanks for keeping us.
You got love, you got it all. You got love, you got it all. And
giving us the preamble of this day. What does Tarehe Sita and they come to this day, and what is the vision behind or ahead of this whole concept of coming in this one place today, and they celebrate or they recommit themselves. I find each one has been very loud and clear that indeed this is the People's Army. If I may just quote a few words from that interview, he gives it to Ugandans that indeed they are here to protect, they are here to preserve what has been achieved, and of course to build on to that, to ensure that there is a future of tomorrow. He has given it to those young men and women who have put on uniform that indeed they must first and foremost make sure that they protect the image of the army, which did come from, which they picked from zero, at least where it has now reached today. And of course, he says the population should be their first line of defense in as far as serving Uganda is concerned, because they are all doing this to protect the population and their property. So if they don't create that rapport between them and the people they are serving, then they will get many hurdles along the way. This is the day we all come here to hear testimonies from those living and those serving men and women who have at least been part of the transition of this country called Uganda. We know the dark history of Uganda. It has been written all over. It has been talked about by so many people. It will be profiled for ages. But of course, that belongs to the past. We need to usher in today. We need to recollect ourselves and say, of course, it happened some years back. Today we are on another page where peace is no longer a demand, but it is a necessity, which has been put in place by the NRM government under the leadership of His Excellency General Yoweri Tebuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni. It is the 45th Tarehe Sita celebration here in Kabale district. And on your screens is Robert Onyango. We are coming live from Kabale National Teachers College ground here in the Switzerland of Uganda. We shall keep on interacting with a few of the dignitaries here, be from the political side or the security side, to ensure that you get engaged, you be attached to this event in as far as the celebrations are concerned, as we wait for the arrival of the main celebrants and also the CDF of Uganda, People's Defense Forces, whom we are told they are not far away from now. But as I said earlier, dignitaries have already taken up their seats. We, few minutes ago, saw the arrival of Her Excellency, the Vice President. I've seen here dignitaries who are coming from abroad. I saw the Ambassador of Kenya to Uganda, His Excellency Dr. Joas Mangi, is among those who are already here. But of course, in my background here, you can see the former Inspector General of Police, General Kaihu. We can close and at least have a few or two words from him. The celebration, keep it on UBC, you will not miss anything in as far as these celebrations is concerned. Let me see here if we can speak to the former IGP, a historical General We still have any first and foremost.
Here.
General, you're looking good.
Thank you very much. I'm fine. I'm very happy to be here.
45 years ago and today, what
Change, not change, has transformed. It's just that the transformation is a process, not an event. It's a process, and obviously it is quite visible. I mean, you don't even need to ask really. Just maybe for purpose of giving testimony, but otherwise, just look at this. But in a more fundamental way, I mean, like throughout the campaign, the president, the cadres of the movement were highlighting the gains, which have been incredible. But the struggle continues. But it feels good. It really feels good, especially that we are holding this event at the time soon after the election, very, very historic elections, where really I believe even you must feel it. You feel a sense of relief, sense of peace, and you see that the country has a future.
When you look at 45 years down the road, first and foremost, was this an easy journey to kick off the process which has led us to where we are today?
Of course, it couldn't have been easy. Now, if it was easy, anybody could do it. That's why we talk of heroes and martyrs who are over and above the rest of society. It took many of our comrades who are not here. We are only those of us who. Mine was over the 45 years. Mine was 41 years actually. Because I reached the bush in '83. The wars had begun in '81. So I'm very proud to have been part of it. However modest contribution. The most important thing that you put your heart in it. And like the Bible says, the talent, whatever you put in is what you have, the talent. So it's really gratifying that we are still alive. We remember and honor those the comrades who passed away, the financial sacrificed. It's really great that the Fronasa, the fighters, where this phase of our struggle of our people, building on earlier struggles, is being remembered. Remember, I was a student in Victoria when during Amin's time, when the heroes that we are remembering were being executed. Some stadium here, others I think in Kampala, others in Mbale. So, it should be an inspiration for the young people, a source of inspiration that what we have gained as a country, the stability, the economic progress was built on the bloodshed of the fathers and grandfathers. And that should be now, that should be on which to stand on, to now see far and take the country further, rather than being negative and cynical.
I'm going to ask General, do you see some challenges encountered along this journey of 45 years?
Well, of course. The struggle is a philosophy. So life journey is a unit and struggle of opposites. It has to be. And that's why I'm talking about sacrifices from our president to the sacrifices here and celebration like to celebrate the heroism, the blood that was because this was must.
You talked about sacrifice many times, so many women still active in the service. Are there some men and women who can sacrifice for their country like you did?
They are in a different way, because it's not. It is fight against poverty.
GoDaddy has the perfect hosting plan for any website. From low-cost shared hosting to your own virtual server. Every plan comes with a 99.9% uptime guarantee, along with a free domain name and award-winning support. No wonder we're the world's #1 web host. Unlock your online potential today with GoDaddy.
Actually, the young people, the majority of you know that people who shoot out naturally, the young people. Obviously, the current generation stress are different from our. Of course, ours was more fun. I believe somebody said every generation historical. What is that? And the confidence with the leadership, thank God that here, there. I think we are on the correct trajectory. We are building the generation of the millennials, the Gen Zs, are building on what their father and grandfather did. And I think that's what it means to build a future of a country, building on the past and the present. And I think we must, of course, approve our president, a gift from God, whatever anybody may. When you look at it's amazing that he's still alive. You should thank God for it.
You talk about the just concluded elections. This is away from the day. You were once in the police as IGP. If you can now look at how the current regime, the current leadership of police, the election and even
there was it was peaceful, and there are some for example, there's no chaos in the polling station. We tried in 2016, we tried that, but this time the situation is but you see, it was like I applaud the leadership of the EP, as well as of course I put palm.
Of course, being one of the key members who have been in that top office of IGP, we needed to give him more time, and is part of this story, it's part of this history of the liberation, or rather the Tarehe Sita celebrations, giving us that insight on what exactly the journey looks like. We are still coming to you live from Kabale National Teachers College here as we join the men and women in uniform to celebrate this year's Tarehe Sita